How do you test the acidity of homemade vinegar? Have you ever wondered how to ensure your homemade vinegar is just right? Testing its acidity is key for safety and preservation. Let's break down how to do this effectively. To start, the best method for testing acidity is acid titration. This process measures the amount of acetic acid in your vinegar, which is essential for food safety. First, prepare a sample of your vinegar. You will need to dilute it with distilled water. This makes handling easier and gives you a more accurate measurement. Next, you will need a strong base, typically sodium hydroxide solution. This is used to neutralize the acetic acid in your vinegar. You will also need an indicator solution, such as phenolphthalein. This indicator is colorless in acidic conditions and turns pink when the solution becomes neutral or slightly basic. Now here comes the fun part. Slowly add the sodium hydroxide to your diluted vinegar sample while stirring. Keep an eye on the color of the solution. When it changes to pink, that means all the acetic acid has been neutralized. At this point, you will need to measure the volume of sodium hydroxide you used. This volume tells you how much acetic acid was present in your vinegar. To calculate the percentage acidity, multiply the volume of sodium hydroxide by a specific factor related to its concentration and the dilution ratio. For instance, if you used 1.3 milliliters of 1% sodium hydroxide, multiplying by 3 would give you an acidity of about 3.9%. This percentage represents grams of acetic acid per 100 milliliters of vinegar, which is the standard measure for vinegar strength. For food preservation, vinegar should have about 5% acidity. Knowing this helps ensure your homemade vinegar is strong enough to keep food safe and prevent spoilage. If you do not have titration equipment, you can use pH test strips for a rough estimate. However, these strips only measure pH and do not give you the actual acid concentration. Titration is the most accurate method for homemade vinegar, especially in self-sufficiency contexts. To recap, testing the acidity of homemade vinegar involves diluting a sample, adding an indicator, slowly adding sodium hydroxide until the color changes, measuring the sodium hydroxide used, and calculating the acidity percentage. This method provides a clear measure of vinegar acidity, which is essential for safe food preservation.